All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, I worked for the state of Florida for 7 years, and I worked for the juvenile detention center. And we had to evaluate the kids, and there was a form to do this. And on the form, it said categorize the child or the juvenile in one of the three ways. Is he a follower? Is he a leader? Or is he an isolate? And I used to think, well, if they were judging me, I'd be an isolate. I'm not a follower. Mm-hmm. I'm not a leader either, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be a leader. I don't want you to follow me. I want you to be your own person. Mm-hmm. You look out in the world, right? You look at the animals for the most part. They're pretty much on their own. And they get together to have sex and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, right. But they're pretty. I mean, I heard that donkeys follow one another, but isn't that a bad animal to kind of pattern yourself after?
Oh, I would think so.
Following. So when this whole thing with Twitter and Facebook started happening, now Facebook wanted us all to have friends. I'm okay with friends.
Yeah.
And they, right? And you look at somebody's friend list, and they've got thousands of friends. Mm-hmm. I think. Let me see. I have my Facebook page open. How many friends do I have here?
Okay.
Maybe being on the radio changes something. I don't really know. But I'm not that social of a person, except for the radio job. Uh-huh. Let's see. How do you find out how many friends? I do have 1,000. I have 1,038. Wow. But I went through there one time. Mm-hmm. I went through the list and the faces, and I really did know, maybe not everybody in there, but I knew a lot of the people in there in one way or another. Mm-hmm. Like some of the publicists we work with, like Rich Gazarian.
Yeah, he's great.
And we're going to speak to, not to Rich, but we're going to speak to, is Alex Hinojosa, is his boss?
Yes.
His boss. To speak to Rich's boss at EMSI, one of the publicists that we work with. And I've never met Rich. But I speak to him all the time. We've spoken to Alex Hinojosa before too.
Yes.
But he's he's going to be on there with just a second. He's got an interesting topic, and I love this topic. But on my Twitter, you have to be a follower. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a follower. I don't want anybody following me.
Yeah.
But okay, so it's a word they chose. Mm-hmm. And again, people have gazillions of these. How many followers do you have? Oh, I got 44 million. Who was it? Stephen King. Was it Stephen King? Stephen King. When he never had a Twitter account. All of a sudden he had one. Like the next day he had 44 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was an outrageous number.
I think if you look at my Twitter, I think I have 33. 33.
Well, probably genuine people.
People I know.
Yeah.
People I know, so I can say, hey, I'm not going to be at the party this weekend. No problem, Uncle Larry. Alex Hinojosa is on the phone. He's always a great guest. He is the Vice President of Media Operations and Strategy at EMSI Public Relations. By the way, if you've written a book, little tip, get a publicist. They will make a big difference for how often the book is sold, I guess is the way to say that.
That's right.
Alex is a featured speaker on public relations. He talks to us about this topic of social media quite frequently. In the notes that were provided to me for this interview, and I know he's probably waiting. Come on, Larry, get to me. Get off the... he wants to tell you that a lot of the politicians that have these Twitter accounts have numerous fake followers. Mm-hmm. So let's find out about this from Alex. Alex Hinojosa, it's always good to speak to you. Good morning, Alex.
Hello, Mr. Popular. It's good to speak to you. Look at you with 1,000 friends on Facebook. That's way more than me.
No, how many do you have?
On friends on Facebook?
Yeah.
I probably have in the neighborhood of 300. But, I only let it be friends and family. When I was in radio, I had a completely separate page for radio because I always like to kind of keep it separate. You know what I mean? I didn't want the radio listeners to see pictures of my baby. I always thought that was a little weird.
That is true. And if I was young enough to have a baby, I would have done the same thing. Yeah. When Robin and I were younger doing radio, we never mentioned the names of our children.
No.
When they were little. No, they didn't. We would talk about doing stuff with them, but their names never came up.
No, never.
I think the exact same way. Even now, still, I don't put photos of her face on Facebook. I might have the only child on Facebook where you've never seen her face, because I just think you got to protect your family and your safety and everything like that.
Yeah, but see, now I post pictures of my banana plant. Nobody cares.
Oh, it didn't get any likes. Nobody likes the banana plant.
Oh, it gets likes. Just a few people. I like that banana plant, Larry. It's nice. You're doing a good job with that banana plant. Yeah, Alex, if you go to online and you want to bump up the numbers of like fake numbers, you can pay people. I don't know how they do this, but they just you pay them $100 or whatever, and boom.
That's awful.
Your numbers go up. What good does that do anybody?
Yeah.
And you know what? None. It's funny because the way you were setting up the idea of social media and friends and followers and, I might only have 33, but they're real, that's way more valuable to you than having 33,000 that are fake, because the whole point of a social media connection, whether they be a friend or a follower, is that they actually do something. So when politicians are out there buying thousands and thousands of them, it makes zero sense because they can't vote for you. They can't donate to your campaign. Why are you doing it?
Yeah, and I'm still. I use Twitter, but I'm not really sure that I'm doing it right, because other people, they're quoting Twitter all the time. Oh, did you see my Twitter feed? No, I didn't see it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't do it the same way other people do it. But let me ask you this: you send us, your company does, a lot of authors. Right. They almost all have a Twitter thing they tell us about. They all have Facebook. They all have Twitter. I mean, is it serving us in some way?
It certainly is, even for the politicians who are faking it, or the businesses, or the authors, or even the radio hosts. The whole point of social media is just another avenue for marketing. And in that marketing, just another way to get people open to what it is your thought process is, your content, as we like to call it in marketing. But basically, it's what you have to say. And if enough people like what it is that you have to say, much like in Radio Land, they'll continue to listen. And if they don't, then they won't. And that's really the simplicity of Twitter. Sometimes people kind of overthink what its purpose is or what it's good for, but it's to share information, to connect with other people, to build a relationship online enough so that then they want to do something next, like vote for you, buy a product, whatever.
After Twitter became extremely popular, President Obama had one of his public forums, Twitter only, and I thought that was not a good idea because not everybody had Twitter. So didn't he slight other people?
Only if that was the only way we could ever talk to the president. If it gets to the point now where the only way we're ever going to be able to communicate with somebody is on Twitter, then I think But otherwise, it's just another creative avenue. Like the Obama administration, like them or not, they've embraced social media. They used Google Plus for their health initiative, and they had this Google Plus Circle, which is a whole other confusing situation. But they have harnessed social media in a way that allows them to just have additional channels to talk to people. It's just like if you were to go to a public event, and a public event, you can only be at one place at one time, so this is where people need to go to talk to you at that time. It's really a very similar setup, and it made the people on Twitter feel special.
Yeah, I guess so, and I guess it was a good promotion for them. So in general, whether we're talking about a national candidate or somebody running for city council, does having a Twitter account, obviously having fake followers, that doesn't make any sense. So let's just jump past that. But I mean, is there a way to use that to actually fortify your campaign?
Absolutely, because here's why. One of the great things about being on Twitter, and you see it with athletes, by the way, athletes will do this all the time, you can control your messages. So if you can get people to follow you, and then you share messages about why you believe this ordinance is good, or why you don't believe this is good, or reminding them that there are only so many days to register, or where they can go register so they can vote, and then, of course, all of it leading up to the big action time and day of voting day, then yes, it's absolutely of value. But for me, where the politicians go awry is, like for Senator McCain, really all his Twitter followers should only come from his state. It doesn't really make any sense or have really additional benefit for him outside of that, because, again, those are the people who will be voting for him, maybe otherwise people who wanted to donate to his campaign.
Yeah. I guess so. But he became a national figure, even though he's got a state following. So with the fake followers, does that, aside from them, who are the fake followers anyway? Who are these people?
Oh boy, they're not real. Remember the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you're talking about The Matrix. They're, people call them bots, and they're just made-up profiles with either, and they're just not even real, and they're just out there, and it's like this computer algorithm system where, you can just have this notch on your belt, if you will, of, oh, look, it's just I got another follower. But if they're not real, then they're no good to you. And that's the thing. That's why they're technically fake. There's no person on the other end to do something.
Again, looking at the social media in general, MySpace, what's another one? Pinterest, some of the other ones, Instagram. Are they not being used by the politicians for any reason?
Well, a lot of for anybody, whenever they're deciding what social media platform they want to be on, you go where your people are, and so very few politicians have gotten up to the point of truly even embracing Facebook and Twitter. So MySpace is really for music, so not really. Pinterest, women are really big on Pinterest, so you've seen some politicians that.
How big are they? Because I'm looking for a big woman. No, I'm teasing.
On Pinterest,
I had to use that one out. My job is to pick up on lines like that. You see.
Good, and you know what? My job is to throw those softballs, and you just crush that one out of the park.
The 50-foot woman. Robin, for my birthday one year, got me a 50-foot woman movie poster.
Yeah.
And in the poster, the 50-foot woman, she's holding a car, and out of the window of the car, she pasted a photo of my head. And so I unroll this gift, and it's a 50-foot woman because she knows I'm looking for a big woman. And so. And so I unroll it, and I don't see my face coming out of the car right away. And I say, "Oh, thanks. This has always been my dream to get to know the 50-foot woman."
That's right.
And then, there's my face.
Looking right at her.
I just thought I'd share that with you.
Awesome.
I can find one of those women on Pinterest. I shouldn't go to Craigslist though, should I? There's probably no real women on there.
Oh, there are a whole bunch of jokes there, but you're absolutely right.
When people sign up for social media and then they need to keep it current and keep it active every day, is it good for say if you are a politician or a business owner to do it yourself, or should you have someone that has a keen sense of what kind of things they should write during the day, what kind of pictures they should post? Should it be delegated to somebody other than the person that has the page?
The answer is yes to all of those. And really the way you think about it is think with social media as another tool. So for example, let's say you are a business person or you're a politician. Do you really want to be in charge of scheduling? Do you really want to be in charge of payroll? Is that really the best investment of your time? So then if you think with social media is the best investment of my time, knowing that this could be a valuable tool, sitting down and scheduling and thinking through tweets, if it is, and you're really just now starting up, then go for it. You betcha. Do it yourself. But if at some point it's eating up too much of your time, then you definitely want to check down to someone who more than just knows whatever that social network is, someone who really knows marketing, quite honestly, because that is a marketing tool so that you can go out and you can market yourself. But you always think of it again as just another tool, and whether or not it's worth the investment of your time or somebody else's on your team.
I want to try and think in the way that maybe some people think that I don't think. I'm guessing that number means something to some people. If I were to look at another radio station's Facebook page and I saw that they had 20 million likes or whatever, then I might be jealous. I might say, "Wow, how come they got 20 million?" But what you're saying is they might not be real. But I wouldn't know that, and so the same thing with the politicians. If somebody running for office decides, "Oh man, if anybody sees my Twitter account, I'm embarrassed. I got 33.
Yeah.
Let me bump it up." Your notes that you sent me say I was guessing $100. It says $20. $20 for 1,000 faked. Wow, they could dump a bunch of money in there. Mm-hmm. Gosh, and have a million in no time.
This is such a great point. And in the early days of social media, you're right. Why not do that? And people have done that. Now the real issue is there are tools that are very easily used, and many of them for free, in which you can plug in somebody's Twitter handle, that's what it's called on Twitter, their profile, or a Facebook, for example, and you can verify how many are real, how many are fake,
oh, really?
Active. Yeah. So that's where you saw this Politico article that came out that talked about President Obama only having so many. And so now if you're building this idea of status and credibility, because look at all my Twitter followers, and then your competition can come out and go, well, really, only a third of those are actually real, so that guy's a liar and he takes shortcuts. Do you want to do business with him? Sadly, they all are in politics, so you have to vote for one of them if you're going to vote. But that's where that ends up coming to bite you, which is really something that's popped up in the last couple of years with specifically people outing politicians, but now you're seeing it happen to businesses as well.
I still think, though, and maybe I'm just old-fashioned, I still think that this radio thing or the TV thing or the newspaper thing is the best way. Here's one thought I've had about this. Somebody will send me a message on Facebook and it said, I just opened up a new Facebook page to support my business. Would you please like it? Okay. So I like it because the guy's okay. I like the guy. I like it, but it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to that store. It doesn't even mean I'm noticing anything they post online. Mm-hmm. It's just that I become another number. I'm a real person. So if they did that little check you just talked about, it's a real follower, a real whatever I am. But at the same time, it might say 1 million followers who are like me, who never see 1 minute of their post, and you know what I mean? I don't know. I just, what are you? I mean, you're a media expert. So, am I wrong? Is TV, radio, and print extinct or going away or what?
No, not extinct at all. In fact, each of them has their own unique beauty. I am a radio guy. I love listening to you guys. I think radio is incredibly valuable because you can get on the air, you can have fun, you can build connections through the radio waves. There's the possibility for repetition, which is huge in marketing, depending on how many ads somebody buys. So there's value in that, reaching the masses, all throughout Central Florida, Ocala, Gainesville, the villages. That's the beautiful part about radio. But then there's a different value when it comes to print. Print, has another way of the written word and people being able to pass it along, or if it's digital, you can share it. The point is, they're all beautiful in their own unique ways, and that's why many times the best marketing plans use them all in coordination, and if they're not using all of them, they pick the absolute right ones for them and for their target demo. And social media isn't any different to that. That's the beauty of it. It's just, again, an additional tool. And I don't think it replaces one or the other at all.
Okay, I love what you just said there, Alex. I wanted to just take a moment just to promote something you're doing. I just noticed it on my notes here. I'm going to ask you to do it, but let me just say something here. Your agency, EMSI, has done wonderful things. We have had great guests. For those who listen to us, you know that we're not trying to pitch you any pills we've had sponsors, obviously, that have vitamins, and et cetera. Yeah. But the guests that Robin and I have always invited, and EMSI and Alex and his agency, have helped us find the quality guests that most of you have commented on and complimented us on. And that's because they know what they're doing. And the reason the authors, et cetera, go to EMSI is because they know what they're doing. And I'm only saying this because, look, if Alex has an event where you can go and listen to experts talk about ways to promote, whether it's a book or a CD or a business, even for that matter, this is a nice opportunity. So I just want to make that pitch because you guys obviously know what you're doing. Yeah. I can't tell you, Alex, how many times. We just had a local author in here a little while ago.
Yes. And
he did his homework. He called us up and got on the air. But he would be spreading the word so much farther with an agency. It's just my thought on this. Mm-hmm. So, where are you going to be? And it says August 8th here, right?
Yeah, we're doing it's not even just EMSI, but we're doing because we know how important this is for everybody, the idea of marketing and getting yourself out there, we're doing a Tampa Bay Marketing Summit in Tampa Bay, one day, Friday, August 8th, which, by the way, really to the point we were just talking about, Larry and Robin, the idea that traditional media is even more important these days when it comes to your digital marketing. And so when you're trying to market yourself online, you need to be on Larry and Robin show. You need some print coverage. How do you use that for search engine optimization and social media? All of it is this ecosystem, this beautiful ecosystem that is marketing. And for one day, we're going to be covering it at the Tampa Bay Marketing Summit, Friday, August 8th. And it's tampabaymarketingsummit.com if people want details. But really it's the understanding that there's so much that goes into this and it can be overwhelming. And quite honestly, to not fall for the idea of buying fake followers and knowing that they can't do anything for you. So don't, even if it is $20, you have a better chance of playing the lottery and winning the Mega Millions or, Powerball and doing that than getting a return on your investment from $20 worth of fake followers.
$20 of computer-generated fake people. Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes, when the businesses start up, it's usually one or two people, and they have a limited amount of funds. How can they choose effective marketing knowing that that's going to help their business grow?
Well, obviously, you at that point you really are counting the pennies. I mean, you're looking and seeing. All right, is it better for me to do a direct mailer, and just go really to the people in my neighborhood from a new ice cream shop that I'm opening up, or am I working out of my office? But I have a national business where I could help anybody. So then maybe I want to use my funds completely online for search engine optimization and maybe some online ads. Maybe it's this great car dealership that I have in Central Florida, and I got to get the message out there constantly because there's a lot of competition, so I got to get on Larry and Robin. What you got to do at that point then is really decide, all right, where's my budget? This is what I know I can or cannot do, and just not throw caution to the wind. Don't just see what sticks. Really have your plan and know your target consumer and customer and your prospect, then go where they're going to be. That's the biggest thing you could do so you don't waste any money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think wasting money in advertising is, there's so many ways that people waste money. One of the wonderful things I like about the internet and the way it works with radio is twofold. One, you come on a radio show, or even if you just do a 30-second radio ad, all you have to do is say your .com. And if it's memorable, people will, and it's kind of like a bumper sticker in a way.
Yeah.
It's memorable. People will go look it up, and boom, you're there. Mm-hmm. It just works well, especially if something visual or something that needs more information.
That's it, and there it is. There is the value of traditional media. Radio is valuable to your digital marketing, your website. They go hand in hand, and there are so many different ways. But you're absolutely right, Larry.
And I know so many people that have a website that, and that has fake numbers too. You could fake your own numbers once upon. I don't know if you can still do this.
Yeah.
But you used to get those little counters. Mm-hmm. What number do you want to start your counter at? Well, what number? Wouldn't 0 be the number?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, the point of that is, what is the point of that? It's like I used to say, what's the point of having a fake radio listener? They're not going to do anything. They can't listen. They can't show up at my event. So why would you want a fake follower? Give me the real ones.
Absolutely.
I'd rather have a handful of real ones than thousands of fake ones.
One of these days we'll stop in and visit you guys. You're in Wesley Chapel, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're only about 75 miles south of y'all.
Yeah, I know. I pass you all the time. How far are you away from the interstate?
Well, we are maybe a mile and a half off the interstate. We're over in Seven Oaks. We're exit 279.
Yeah.
Why have you not stopped by, Larry and Robin? We'll take you to lunch. I know Rich will.
I know. We keep thinking about it. Usually we're in a hurry.
Yeah. Usually we have a.
We always say, we got to stop. Well, there's Wesley Chapel. There it goes. There's Wesley Chapel. Well, when you used to be down in Clearwater, we used to want to go to see the what are they, Scientologists?
Yeah.
Because Rich would tell us that they would be looking to the east or something, and we thought, wow, I want to see that.
Well, you really make this exciting. You truly do, Alex.
Alex,
you guys are a blast. I was talking about it this morning. There are a few radio shows I get to do. You guys are always my favorite.
Alex, the website again is tampabaymarketingsummit.com, correct?
That is correct.
All right. We'll put that, what Robin already, in fact, has that on our guest list. We're just up against the clock. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The economy taking a step back, shrinking at a 2.9% annual rate in the first quarter.
The January to March downturn was more severe than earlier estimates, showing just a 1% decline. Most of the downward trend reflected in healthcare spending and a bigger trade deficit. A harsh winter is also a contributor.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern in Mississippi. Six-term Senator Thad Cochran wins the GOP runoff over Tea Party choice Chris McDaniel, who may challenge it.
This is not the party of Reagan. But we're not done fighting.
He says some Democrats who voted in their primary may have crossed over, which is not allowed. In Oklahoma, Congressman James Lankford beats Tea Party choice T.W. Shannon for the Senate GOP nomination. ABC's Diane Sawyer is stepping down as the anchor of World News at the end of August. David Muir will take over. Sawyer will handle in-depth interviews and other duties. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
On March 3rd last year, Henry W. faced his own death with incredible courage. He wasn't in an accident. He wasn't ill. He wasn't in any danger. But he faced this reality head on. If he died, his wife and children wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage, make the car payments, or keep up the life they'd had. His family would lose everything. So he picked up the phone and called AIG Direct. He found out that through AIG Direct, he could get a $250,000 life insurance policy for less than $14 a month. Now, he knows that he's helped make his family's future secure, no matter what happens to him.
Protecting your family with coverage through AIG Direct is fast, easy, and incredibly affordable. Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote.